appreciate that.
Can I ask, I guess, for tomorrow, are we just looking at Dr. Glocki and then Sergeant Anderson then?
I think that's correct. I think it's Dr. Glocki. I think it's Investigative Sergeant Amundsen and this other act stipulation. And I want the court to see the photos. I think that the court ruled preliminarily as long as the abuse could be scrubbed, and I don't think the word abuse is actually on the photos, that they could come in. But Your Honor wanted to see them before we did anything with them. So we'll have those for you tomorrow morning as well, so you can review those.
Okay. I guess the question is when we get done with that.
No, I'm just trying to witness plan.
Yeah, that's what I assumed you were looking at, trying to figure out if you had time.
I kind of suspect that Special Investigative Sergeant Amundsen is going to be a longer witness. So I don't know that we'll be, I think we'll rest tomorrow. I don't know that we'll be resting early tomorrow or mid tomorrow. It might be the end of the day.
Okay. Okay. Well, good news, I think we're on track to where you thought we were going to be. All right, let's get, we can bring the jury in, we'll call the next witness, and then we'll do the latter stuff. Okay. Okay. Everybody have a seat. Call your next witness.
I think I was Ashley Smith.
Swear you in right here.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony given in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Ashley Cuppett. Last name is spelled Cuppett.
You're the second person I called today with a different last name than what I said. Did you get married?
Yes, back in May of 23.
All right. Congratulations to you as well.
Thank you.
How are you employed?
I am an inpatient physical therapist at Gunderson Health Systems by Amplify.
How long have you worked as an inpatient physical therapist?
I have worked at Gunderson since 22, so going on 4 years now, and I've been a PT since 2019.
What does a physical therapist do?
In the inpatient realm, I work with patients who have been admitted for various injuries, making sure they're able to move and mobilize and get the equipment that they need to go home or to another facility.
In your role as a physical therapist in the inpatient setting, did you work with Alexavier Pedrin?
Yes, I did.
And did you start working with Alexavier Pedrin on January 17th of 2023?
Yes.
Can you describe to the jury what you observed with regards to the level of pain that Alexavier Pedrin was in?
Yes. So he was in quite a bit of pain. I had seen him for a femur fracture, and we had seen him in the afternoon, and I just remember he was in a ton of pain, just yelling and screaming out. It was not a good session to be in.
Not a comfortable session at all?
No.
Okay. Were the father and Josie Dykeman present for that?
Yes. The father was there the entire session, and she had arrived about a quarter of the way through.
Okay. And you got to observe the father's interactions with Alexavier?
Yes.
Tell the jury about those.
With the father, I remember walking in, and they were both just sitting on the bed, kind of hanging out. The father was very attentive and kind of holding him, and we were just kind of talking, and Alex was playing with a toy, just trying to get comfortable with him. And then when we were starting our session, then we explained what we were going to do and the purpose of it, and the father helped out with the session.
He was helpful with the session?
Yes, we had to do teaching on how to use a pediatric walker, and then teaching the father how to like hold and handle him so we could get him into a wheelchair to make sure he could safely stand.
And you referenced that the father was attentive in that process. Is that fair?
Correct.
You referenced in your report that at some point the father does refer to Alexavier as being a baby in some regard. Do you recall that?
Not 100% sure.
Okay. Would helping review your report help you today?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to hand you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 80. Ask you to review that and just let me know if you recognize that after you review it. Okay. Did that help refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Okay. Did the father make a reference to Alexavier and using the word baby at some point?
I don't recall 100%.
Don't recall that?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a lot going on, sorry.
There's a lot going on. And if you said that to investigators, you wouldn't have a reason to deny that. Is that fair?
Correct.
Okay. What you observed on behalf of the father was appropriate?
I would say so, based on my observations.
Okay. You also had an opportunity to observe Ms. Dykeman. Is that fair?
Yes.
Tell us about your observations of Ms. Dykeman, the defendant.
She had arrived, like I said, about a quarter of the way through the session as we were sitting on the edge of the bed with Alex, and the father was sitting on the bed as well. And just kind of came in and was kind of looking around at what we were doing, and we explained, oh, we're going to get up and move, and we got to make sure we can stand. And just kind of hung out in the background and just didn't seem as involved than the father during our session.
Didn't seem as engaged?
Correct.
Okay. At some point, Ms. Dykeman did ask for medical providers to give additional pain medication to Alexavier. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And that was after Ms. Dykeman observed Alexavier in a great deal of pain because of the leg. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. Did Alexavier's pain persist as you continue to work with him?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
It was a very, like I said, a very hard session to be a part of. Pain was okay up until we started moving, and just, like I said, just almost like blood-curdling screams in a way. I've worked with, obviously, a lot of patients before in pain, but I won't forget those, forget it, just because it hurt me.
You have a vivid memory of Alexavier and his screams?
Yes.
How long did you work with Alexavier and the family before discharge?
I just did that one session to make sure we got medical equipment and prepare family for like transfers and stuff, and that was it.
Okay. And the recommendations were that Alexavier was not to be using that leg after. Is that correct?
Correct. We educated on toe touch weight bearing. So just, which was what the doctors had said too, which would just be the weight of his toes on the floor.
Nothing more on the leg with the broken femur?
Correct.
Okay. I've moved State's Exhibit number 80 into evidence. I have no further questions.
No objection.
Can be received. Cross.
Briefly. Good afternoon.
Hello.
So just a couple of questions on the pain medication question.
Okay.
So Josie, well, you confirmed with Josie that Alex was pre-medicated before therapy. Is that right?
Yes. We make sure all of our patients are pre-medicated prior to working with them to optimize mobility.
Yeah. And Josie was concerned. She expressed concern to you that Alex was not receiving enough pain medication, as you testified. Is that right?
Yes, and then we had educated that we had talked to nursing and made sure we got what we needed to get through the session.
But she was worried that Alex was in too much pain. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think anybody would be worried with the amount of pain he was in. I mean, it was very loud and yeah.
Very painful injury.
Yes.
And wanting more pain medication for your child, that's consistent with a caregiver concerned about their child's suffering. Is that fair?
Yep.
I'm sorry, yes.
Yes, sorry.
We're not always used to talking in full words, but I appreciate that. And there was no documented Josie refusing medication during your session, right?
No, because with my notes, I document to a lot of like with the patient. So I really just focused on what Alex was going through.
Thank you.
Hmm?
Nothing further.
I have nothing on that.
All right, thank you. May step down, kind of that report there. Thank you. I believe, go ahead.